Alright, so I wanted to make the next PTS video on something that I don't really realize why I haven't already done, but it's going to be something very important, and I'll take you through an incident that happened to me recently, but I won't go into great detail because it's kind of personal. So, the PTS video for today, it's a pretty simple matter that I hadn't really thought of acknowledging actually. It's stress and how that affects you in a way that you wouldn't really realize in your everyday life, because you think you're calm. I certainly did. So a couple of days ago, actually it's been more like a week or something, I was in class at my school, and suddenly my pulses, my beats per minute, started going up alarmingly for no apparent reason. I didn't know exactly what it was, and it reached a level of actually me being terrified of what could happen after this wouldn't stop, because it lasted around like 20 minutes, I'd say. So I stood up, I got out, obviously. I couldn't just sit while my pulses were that high. And I went to the bathroom, I threw some water on my face, and eventually they came down. Now, the gist of the story is that I went to the hospital. They kept me in for a couple of days. They told me there was nothing wrong with me. I even went to the cardiologist. They said that your heart is excellent. You have a very trained heart, because I'm an athlete, so it's reasonable. My beats per minute on average are around like 40 to 45 to 50, and there is actually nothing wrong. That's the essence of the whole matter. Now, I actually talked to my brother about that, because he seems to have had the same thing happen to him around 10 years ago when he was my age, and it was attributed to stress. Now, most times you don't feel like you're stressed, because as I found out for myself, most of your stress is subconscious, and it's really annoying because you can't really control it. It's out of your control, apparently, or so I hear. I'm still looking through it actually, and it's like a cumulative effect, and after a while it's just like a discharge, like you have that panic attack or something for no apparent reason, which is really annoying. Now, thankfully I haven't had another episode since the last one, but there is no saying if I'll have one in the future, be it soon or later. I don't know. Now, I will say, to tie them all together for the actual reason I made the video, I have kind of a different optic on why stress occurs, and it's actually not my opinion. It's something that I had seen Jeff Bezos comment on a short video. I don't think it's his conclusion, it's just where I saw it, and he said this. Jeff Bezos was like, stress primarily comes from inaction on things that you can actually control. Now, this, in case you don't realize it, is about having goals, dreams, targets that you need to hit at a certain deadline, and you just don't do it, either because you just didn't have the time actually, or because you became lazy. I, for one, know that lately I've been really slacking off on my to-do list, which I don't really make anymore. Well, you see how this ties together. And these thoughts, these continuous thoughts of, you know, I have to do this, but well, I don't really want to do it, and then you actually don't do it. And for me, it was like, sometimes I will be sitting on the couch doing absolutely nothing of essence, like looking at my phone, and other times it will be like sitting right there just looking in the void, maybe thinking of playing some guitar or something completely useless, essentially. So, what I want to say is that I noticed, or I remembered when I was really dedicated to working every day and not slack off like an idiot, that I was really calm and really excited, which is interesting because I was working quite a long time every day, like 5, 6, 7 hours sometimes. I was editing, I was uploading, checking social media, AI updates, whatever. And I was still doing very well mentally, only because I knew I was doing the thing that was getting me closer to my goal. I haven't been doing that lately. I don't know how to explain it, but in a weird mind space, because in just a few days, like 2-3 weeks, I will leave this place for around 4 months and go back to my hometown, which makes me not really want to work because I don't like this place. I don't like the environment. I don't like the people, certainly, apart from like 2 or 3 friends of mine. And so I'm kind of like, let's let the time pass. All that is subconscious that I'm telling you right now. Let the time pass as fast as possible. Let's sleep in. I'm only training, essentially. I don't do anything else important. So I've had some trouble sleeping. I don't know why. Probably the subconscious thing kicking in again. And all I want to say is, if you have a goal, well, it's kind of a double-edged knife at this point, because you will either work for it and you know everything that comes with it, fatigue, failure, essentially, and most importantly. And if you don't work at it, but you really want it, like me, not like have a goal in mind, but not really be indulged in, then if you have the actual goal in your mind, you will have trouble elsewhere for no apparent reason. You will not be able to, and that's not immediate, of course, but it's accumulative, as I said earlier. Now, for me, I am trying to untie those knots in my mind and move on from whatever has happened to me, because it was really scary, simply. And what I want to say to end this video, because I think you've got the point at this point. I didn't make much. Well, it made sense. It wasn't whatever. If you decide to go after something, it doesn't have to be a business. It can be quite literally anything. A goal, your physique, your training, whatever. Don't half-ass it. That's the premise that this video is basically about. Because you will always, even though you might not have attacks that I got, the panic attacks, you will still have that thing at the back of your mind all the time telling you, well, if you had worked for it, would you have succeeded? Would it be better if you had done it? And it's really a thought that is not pleasant. That's basically it. That's it. That's all I had to say for my recent incident. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know I've been lost for the last few days, but I think you realize why. I've been trying to calm myself from more of the cortisol in my body, and I will definitely see you more in the coming days, because I have to make a lot of videos to upload for the summer that I won't have that much time. So I'll leave you, see you later, and be calm.